I wanted to ask you before you had to get out of here
Yeah.
was the Danzig gig.
Yeah.
Being that I'm the Danzig guy, I've never heard the story about how you got into Danzig and what it was like hanging around Danzig.
All right, I'll tell
Do you
this
have any
story and then I
Danzig
got to
stories?
bail.
Okay.
Dude, it was
Thank
so
you.
weird because so Joey was in the band since the beginning of Danzig 4. Like he didn't play on that record,
Yeah.
but then Biscuits was out. He started playing
Right.
with Danzig. They were like, that was like their biggest time. Then they did Danzig 5,
Right.
which was, you know, it was like
The weird one.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like a lot of drum machines, a lot of programming, different guitar
Right.
players. Jerry Cantrell, Glenn played on it, and just like different people. And that was right around when I got in or basically it was just Joey, and Joey was like, dude, you should come down, you know, we should try out for Danzig. Blasco was in the band already at that point.
Okay.
And this other guy, Riggs, who he played in Rob Zombie with. He was in Danzig at the time, I think. And I think that he then was out. I think it was him. And then I came in, you know, then Joey was like, dude, you should come try out. I tried out. I got the gig. But the weird thing was, you know, we were at the same rehearsal studio where Velvet Revolver was, you know, and we rehearsed for like almost a year, dude. And Glenn had lost his voice, and he talked like this.
And the Michael Rooker voice.
Dude, like he lost his voice, and he wouldn't come to rehearsal except like once every couple months because he couldn't sing, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so me and Blasco and Joey would rehearse, you know, a few days a week, learn all the back catalog, which was fucking killer. You know, we'd play every killer Danzig song, you know, from the first Danzig record all the way up to, we even played like one song off of 5, 1 or 2, but we played like, you know, Dirty Black Summer and Her Black Wings and like all these killer Danzig songs. And but it was weird because then every couple months Glenn would come in and he would sound like this, and he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna try and sing, and then he would sing and it would, you know, he couldn't really, and then he kept trying like I felt bad for him, you know, because he kept trying all these different things, like, you know, like, oh, I went down to Chinatown and I got these herbs and I saw this lady, you know. You know, he was trying anything because
right.
I mean, think about it, dude. If your voice was like this for like a fucking year, you know, you're like,
that's that's like your income, your like passion, all that shit. Yeah.
So, you know, and then eventually he got his voice back enough, even though it wasn't like 100%. But and then we did a gig. This was like in '96, I think. And we did a surprise gig at the Whiskey on Halloween, like under a different name, but everyone, all the fans knew. That was like the only gig I did, dude, in Danzig.
Really?
Played the gig. I think it was the only gig that Blasco did too. And then,
really,
like, dude. So then I was in the band. We do the gig. It went great. Everything's cool. Like a month later, a few weeks after that, I forget what band. We all went together as a band to see some other band at the Viper Room, right? With Glenn too. And,
okay.
So, it was all 4 of us. It was Glenn, me, Joey, Blasco. We go to see this band. We're talking outside. He's talking about Danzig 5, and I'm like, and I don't know why. I was just like, and I'm usually not that guy that's just like, I don't know. I didn't say like I didn't like that record, but I'm like, well, it just doesn't really sound like a band. You know, it sounds more like a project because it's like there's drum machine and, you know, and I wasn't being like, I mean, it was a knucklehead thing to do, but I'm usually not that guy that's that like much of a knucklehead, but I guess it was. And he's just like, I like that record. And I'm like, oh, I like the record, but I'm just saying it doesn't really sound like, it was like the band every record, and now it's like it sounds more like, you know, a project because you're playing with different guys and you got drum loops in there. And he's like, and he got pissed at me, and the next day 2 days later, Joey calls me, like, dude, I think we're gonna look for another guitar player. I was like,
it's like Spider from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like, no, I thought you said I was all right, Spider.
Yeah, Joey and I were good enough friends, at that point that, I was just like, all right, dude.
Were you like because you're like it was because I talked shit on the new record?
Yeah, I
right?
asked him, and he's like,
yeah,
totally.
It would be that petty
because we were.
Oh my god.
Because we were good enough friends that he was just like, yeah, dude. He was like,
yeah, he screwed the pooch on that one.
And then like Blasco got kicked out again.
Did he say the same thing? Is that why Blasco got kicked out?
Mouse said he was smarter than me, but he got kicked out a few months after that for I don't know what reason.
Probably saying something that Glenn didn't like or something. It sounds like
I don't know,
maybe or something.
I guess. But
that's hilarious, man.
That was it.